Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, I have Los Angeles. What up, Duke?
What it do? What it do, Dust? Man, chilling, man. What's good with everybody? Hope everybody's good out there.
Yeah, man, everything is good, man. Can't complain, dog. Definitely appreciate you joining the show, man, and looking forward to chopping it up with you about a few things, man. I know you had a couple of things that you wanted to discuss, and I brought a couple to the table also. So let's start with the first thing, man. Legendary great Eazy-E. I know you worked closely with him on I think it was his last project, but can you talk to us about recording the Eazy-E album and everything that went around that?
It was in actuality it was I was asked to be on that record. Big up shout out to Rhythm D. Rhythm D was Eazy-E's personal producer that did Complicity G's for Eazy and produced for Mac 10, Snoop, and and the list goes on. And so at the time when I was working on for Los Angeles, he was the producer that was working on my album just solely. Like Rhythm produced the whole record. And so while we were working on my record, Tamika Wright had called Rhythm and was like, we going in the Ruthless Vaults and we about to pull out these verses from Eazy-E. And so, Eazy wasn't like Pop. Like, Pop is gonna stay there until the shit is done. Eazy was a baller, you know what I'm saying? So Eazy will go and be on the phone and he'll do a verse or two, a verse and a half, and then he'll be on the phone and bone out. So that's what made it possible for young Thundercats like me to be on it. Me and Low Stud and Sacrifice and a couple other Rock Slanger, and it was a bunch of people that was on the record. It came out. It had a double CD. It came with a video game called Hidden Switches, and the album. I don't know exactly how much the album sold. The album sold a little bit though, but it was like when we was recording the record at the studio, it felt like Eazy was in the studio on some real shit.
Really? How so?
It was like the spirit of it. Like it's like okay, it's a bunch of people that have come out with these artists like Eazy-E or Pac or Biggie, and then like how 50 Cent has songs with Pac on it and Biggie on it, but he wasn't in the studio to do the songs. You know what I'm saying? I knew Eazy, like in real life, and then was on this album. It was just like it was a spirit in there. I don't know. I just felt the spirit of, especially how fast we did the record. Like I was in there, not playing at all. So I saw I wanted the album more than a lot of people. Oh yeah, Paperboy. Paperboy is on the album too. Do the Diddy if you want to. Oh, yeah, he's on the record too.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Before we jump back into the album, what kind of person was Eazy? You knew him, like you mentioned. Like, what kind of dude was he, man, in your eyes?
Dude, he was cool. Like, he was a cool dude. Like, not to sound like how I'm a sound, but it's a bunch of other people that could have went and took Eazy-E's place of death besides Eazy-E. You know what I'm saying? I wish Eazy was here because he was a businessman. You got to realize before Diddy had Bad Boy Entertainment and all that, I think it was maybe Russell Simmons and a couple of Tony Draper. It was only a few hands on one hand of artists who actually had their own label. And so Will 1X, who everybody knows in the world of today as Will I Am, he was signed to Ruthless Records also. JJ Fad, they had Supersonic, big, huge records. You know what I'm saying? So Eazy-E was making, as I remember, as they say, like damn near $10 million a month. Like he was really getting a bunch of money and was smart. And so it's like, I don't know, like Eazy-E really wasn't had did anything to anybody, as I recall, had did anything to anybody to die how he died. Eazy was cool, man. Like chopping up, no Hollywood, no funny acting, none of that. Like how people be acting today, the Hollywood shit, be on the funny, never that. He was cool. He was class act, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. to one of the greats, man. He's one of the reasons, if not the reason, I fell in love with hip hop. Just listening to Boys in the Hood and gangster rap and things like that. That was my.
If it wasn't for Eazy-E, there'll be no Dr. Dre. And then if there'll be no Dr. Dre, there'll be no 50 Cent, there'll be no Eminem. It's just like the list goes down the line. You know, he was smart. He was smarter than the average person. Like I would see him in the streets, like you know what I'm saying, like on a whim. Like I would see him in the streets, and he had this white Shark BMW, the 850, before anybody had them. And so, like I said, I had the plug with Eazy in it because of my cousin. Another plug because of my cousin being Big Ron and his personal bodyguard, and then Rhythm being his producer. It was like I see myself about to be signed to Ruthless, but the day that Eazy died, it was around my birthday. Cause my birthday's March 13th, and Eazy died like right around that time. Yeah. And I was in the studio with Laylaw, rest in peace. And I remember Law saying, "I gotta get out of here. I gotta go to the hospital. Eazy is sick. Eazy near death. Eazy died or something." I was like, "What?" Like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy.
It was a sad day, bro. What do you looking back, you know, do you think he passed away, the records stated he passed with AIDS, or do you think there was some funny business?
Yeah. He definitely died of AIDS. And not only did he die of AIDS, he died of super AIDS. I ain't never seen nobody die that fast, like from AIDS. Wherever Eazy, I think, was given AIDS. Like people say his lifestyle, and he had a bunch of women and all that. Who didn't? You know what I mean? And he was on that. But I think Eazy death was special. It was something that went on with it. You know what I mean? Like Eazy had power, he had position, and sometimes people don't like that. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna really put out the real narrative that I heard, but I think that it wasn't just by accident.
Some have said Suge Knight himself has mentioned that, you know, he went, I guess, viral 15 years ago on that late night show. I don't even know if Suge did that. I don't even think that, even though Suge said that, like, I don't even think that Suge did that. Like, I don't even want to, like, put it out there, but I honestly think that the person who did that to Eazy is no longer around. I honestly think that Jerry Heller had something to do with it. I honestly think that, you know what I'm saying? Because when you close with a person, and Eazy was getting that acupuncture and all that shit, and you know, people like, just go to my doctor, and you know what I'm saying? You never know what a person gets told their doctor to do. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't really want to just put it out there, but honestly, that's what I think. Yeah, I remember Kid Frost said something similar, so you're not the first one to, you know, have that theory that Jerry Heller was behind it. Yeah, you said super AIDS.
A lot of things going on with this industry, and then, you know, today, you know, the smear campaigns and all these type of things. I feel like the people who are running the music industry, the people who really like run this shit, like the gatekeepers, those people, you don't know what they look like and you don't know who they are, but these people are running this industry. And while everybody's doing a bunch of pointing the finger at everybody it's them who are getting these artists killed. You know what I'm saying? And off, because nobody's looking at them. You know what I mean? They're far away. So there's a lot of things going on in this world like that. Michael Jackson should be talking about. A lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on in this world like that. Michael Jackson should be talking about. A lot of things going on.
Yeah. You know, talk to me about that Michael Jackson thing, man. We briefly mentioned that offline.
The Michael Jackson thing is like, you know, they'll put it on the media, they put it on TV, and that's what people are supposed to disbelieve. But we all know that fact that Michael Jackson has that catalog. If you own Sony, that means you own Beyonce. That means you own Britney Spears. That means you own a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? And he tricked them out of that. So Michael Jackson had to go at the end of the day. And the reason why I speak on this is because of the fact of the people that Michael Jackson was entangled with were the people that we were signed to at Red Ant Entertainment, Randy Phillips, AEG, Live Nation. Like, he's the chairman of that. And so this music industry is a cold business. I thought it was about talent, but it's not. You know, it's a lot of sacrifices and propositioning. It's not about it's not about what you're doing in the industry that's not making you blow up. Sometimes it's not what you're doing, like what you may not be doing. You know what I mean? So I learned that too. And so right now I'm writing, like I said, I'm writing my books. I'm writing 2 books at the same time. I'm writing Atlanta for you, and I'm writing as the Family Feud.
Okay. When are those coming out?
I'm trying to put them out before the year is up. I have a lot of like crazy shit, the shit that I told you at the time when I got busted with 53 pounds of marijuana on a plane at LAX in 2000, while having a record deal, just being foolish and was trying to get to the money because they wasn't feeding me right and was busted. But the person, the person who was doing it with me, she got busted too. A straight up G. She called me one day and was like, "Floss, what's your address?" Put it through the navigation. Navigation really wasn't even in cars yet. And pulled up in a new Benz. I'm like, damn, what's she like? I just married Sugar Shane Mosley. Jen, like when you see Jen, she's full Asian looking. You would never think when you see her in the face that she's with any type of anything. You just like a straight Asian woman, but as soon as she opened up her mouth, she's straight black. You know what I'm saying? I've been hearing the things in the news with how she did Sugar Shane, but she's a straight up G. That's real talk.
Yeah, I want to take that slow. All right, so you got caught with 53 pounds of weed that we talked about a little bit in previous conversations. Mm-hmm. But what you didn't mention was that the person that you partnered up with this with was Sugar Shane Mosley's wife, according to you, Jen Mosley. How did you link up with her? How did that connection even come about? Like, tell us everything that happened before you actually got caught.
A friend of mine, I wish it's going to be, I'm going to name the name, but a friend of mine out in New York introduced me to Jen, and we was doing our thing. And by the grace of God,
does that mean dating or?
When I got busted, no, we wasn't dating at all.
Oh, okay.
No. We was really like partners, like co-workers in this organization of things that we were doing that could have got me a whole bunch of years. You know, when I got busted with mine, I got busted on the tarmacs at LAX, which that was nothing but God, because I don't know if you know, but people who live that life that do this, is that I was going to the other side of the map from LA to New York. So all cities and states in between is a penal code, and you get charged for each one of them. So luckily they caught me before I did that, where I'd have been up in Sing Sing or Rikers Island or some shit like that. So it was the grace of God. But she had got caught with like 30,000, like, you know what I'm saying, on the plane. So it was like she got busted with that, and I got busted with what I got busted with, and then I look up all of a sudden, and she's married to Sugar Shane. Shit's crazy.
Mm. Do you think she has something to do with you being arrested, or?
Hell no. It was all my arrogance and being pompous and arrogant at the time. You know what I mean? Y'all realize I'm in New York. I'm going back and forth to New York, so my peoples would take me to the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? The Q Club, Wonderfuls, Nakasaki and Jamrock, all that shit. They would take me to all the clubs. And so I had a 7 in the morning flight. I'm loaded, brand new clothes from Jamaica Ave. Clothes don't even come out till next year. Timberlands untied. So I'm in the airport, you know what I mean? Just looking real niggerish and doing too much. And so basically when they busted me on the plane. I seen the 3 detectives. So when they got me, they brought me into the little holding tank. And so when they opened up the suitcase, they was like, first of all, we get the suitcase on. I told them I was in the bathroom and somebody struck up a conversation with me and offered me some money. That's what I said. So when they opened up the suitcase, whoever rat mines, they put baby powder all through it. So when the police, they like, do you even know what was in here? So when they opened it up, a bunch of powder jumped out. They start high-fiving each other and doing the kid and play. And then when they start reaching up in there more, they was like, oh man, this is just some weed. So my aunt worked for the state public defenders. Growing up, she was a supervisor downtown, worked with all the police. So people that she knew that were attorneys at the time, they were judges now. So they knew who I was. I was her nephew. So they wrote me letters of recommendation. And the fact that I was an artist and had a record out, they let me out. I had to do like 3 years probation, 3 months house arrest, basically a slap on the wrist. You know what I'm saying? So it's just by the grace of God. It's all gonna be in the book. I'm writing this book and shit like that. But yeah, man, I done lived some tales and seen some things too.
Damn. Yeah, man, that's a crazy, crazy thing to dodge. You could have did a lot more time, homie. 53 pounds, and you only got 3 years of probation. That's definitely high power.
Probation. I got 3 months house arrest, but I cussed the lady out at the monitoring place, so they made it seem like I was outside. So the police came and brought me back to the Twin Towers in the county jail. Boy, you don't want to play around up in there. It's a cold thing going on up in there, man.
Yeah, shit. I definitely don't want to experience that, man. Did you have any more legal issues after this, or did you finish that 3 years probation off?
After, and they let me go 2 months early on probation for good behavior. You know, I ain't never really been an in trouble type, but it was just at the time, you know, Randy Phillips and them, well, we were signed to Red Ant Entertainment. You know, it's a room full of white people, and so it looked like they didn't have nothing to do with rap. You know what I mean? Smoking jackets and all kind of crazy shit. And so they was asking, they was like, would y'all want to do the title song for the movie Love Stinks with Tyra Banks and Bill Bellamy and French Stewart and Bridget Wilson? I'm like, yeah, shit. Like, what? I didn't even see the movie and told the director to leave out of the studio because he was making us nervous. And then we completed the song, Himalayas and Miss Toy, and put the song out, and it's in the movie. You know what I mean? And we had the party at the Playboy Mansion. I got to meet Hugh Hefner and all that type of things. But yeah, they got us, man. You know, on some real shit. They got us. As we speak, I'm not getting my royalties from that. From that is because some crooked shit that they did. So I already know about the music game and what they're up to. And as far as Michael Jackson and Brandy Phillips and Eazy and all that, and Live Nation, I believe that they had something to do with Michael Jackson's demise.
We've been losing a lot of prolific artists, and it's ironic that I use the word prolific. Mm-hmm. You know, Nipsey Hussle. We've lost some really good ones in the past 5-6 years, man. Do you think the industry or behind the scenes people had something to do with some of these passings? Of
course it is. Of course it is. See, the Malcolm X and all, the Martin Luther King, there was no rap. You feel me? They was the rap. Like them showing up and speaking was the crowd gathering and all that type of shit. That was the rap. You feel me? So they killed them in that fashion. This is 2024. So they're killing them in this fashion. You understand? They're killing them in this fashion. The prolific ones, the ones that can, out of all the, because it's hard to get black people together and on one accord and thinking they all are on one accord, but to get them all together in one place on one accord and keep them on one accord is damn near impossible. And so when you see people like a Nipsey Hussle, you know what I'm saying? Like even Kendrick Lamar is not going hard and speaking like a Nipsey Hussle is because he's trying to live. Nipsey was on something different. So he spoke. That's what he told me. He was like, boss, I'm a Eritrean. We think different. And I was like, damn, that is true. The fact that Nipsey could sway, Nipsey could move people when it's hard to move, and they like, he gotta go.
I mean, yeah, look how important he was. Mm-hmm. His passing united, you know, and I'm using that word for lack of better words, united two of the biggest gangs that were rivaling and beefing at that time. They ended up, you know, having a ceasefire over Nipsey. So that shows you just how powerful and big Nipsey Hussle was.
I've seen it because I lived over there. Like, I don't live there no more, but I lived and was raised over there. And what I saw was the Rolling 60s was selling dope and rocks at first. And they switched it over from selling dope and rocks to selling T-shirts and shirts. And it's selling just as fast as dope is being sold. I saw that transformation where they put their rocks and they dope down to pick up T-shirts. And that's what was up. When they seen that, that's when he got to go. Okay, all right, I grew up on Figueroa too. Prostitute Street in LA.
Yep.
I seen the police tell the prostitutes, we'll give you 3 and you give us 3. How would you catch Johns soliciting for prostitution if you don't have prostitutes out there? You feel what I'm saying? I've seen it. I grew up on Figueroa, so I've seen it. We'll let you have 3 tricks and then we'll arrest 3 tricks. And that's how they was doing it.
Damn. That's cold, man. Yeah.
Real talk. I was raised on 66 in Figueroa, Freeway Rich neighborhood, right before Florence, between Florence and Gage on 66. My grandmother used to give the prostitutes. She would like go on up there and run into the corner and go give Ruthie a plate. And if she likes you, she'll give you a plate. Other than that, she would give you a Tupperware bowl. You know what I'm saying? She would feed the prostitutes.
Wow.
And then when they would bring the plate back, she would serve them. When you going to get your life together? And they have the girls out there crying and all that. I've seen a lot. That's why I'm saying this book is about to be good, is because of the fact that I've seen a lot. And these things need to be out. Like, these things need to be out.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you've been a lot of places and you've seen a lot of things, a fly on the wall type of situation. That's why I like talking to people like you who, you know, were around. You know, can you tell us a little bit about what you know about Fig and like when you were living over there? You know, it's a famous stroll, one of the more famous in LA, if not the most famous. But, you know, I'm not saying that you worked there or anything, but what can you tell people about Figueroa and growing up and living over there?
Figueroa is nowhere near the airport. If it has nothing but motels and motels on a street that's maybe like 20 miles, 15 miles of from Century and Figueroa to Western going up. It's a blade. It's nothing but a blade. What I will tell you is something that's a treat for your listeners, is that, like I said, I grew up on Figueroa, and then my grandmother and them moved from Figueroa to Manchester and Crenshaw area. A person who I would see every single day and didn't even know who he was the Grim Sleeper, LA's first serial killer that was killing all of the prostitutes. He stayed right around the corner from my grandmother. I would see him every single day. His name was Ronnie, and he was the mechanic. You feel me? But in the daytime, he fixed cars, but in the nighttime, he'd go smoke crack and go kill up a bunch of women.
That's right.
And I knew him personally. I couldn't believe that. You know what I mean? So LA, that's what I'm saying. LA got some things going on. We were talking about earlier is that we need to start growing our own food. They killing us. Steve Harvey, Yogi the Bear looking ass, went on TV today and told black people, stop worrying about the reparations and just go ahead and vote. What's wrong with him? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if they give us he's saying that if we don't vote, that's what Steve Harvey said, if we don't vote, that they're not going to give us our reparations. They ain't going to give us our reparations anyway.
Exactly. It ain't happening.
There's more black people against it than white people.
Dog, they're giving other groups money that, you know, are just brand new to this country, man. Just popped in yesterday, and they're getting thousands and millions, and whole cities are passing laws so that they get money. But yeah, you know, nothing coming around here. It's like they're pushing us to the back of the bus again, man.
It's a black guy. It's a black guy in the game. You don't think these rest of these countries, what they be saying to us, they black man, why are you fighting a white man war? It's not your war. They say this all the time. It's a black eye in the game, how they do it. We American too. First of all, who says this? First of all, white people used to have us in their house with their kids, cooking their food. Right when they gave us our independence, now all of a sudden, they don't want us in the neighborhood no more. And we lazy and we this and we that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, America won't rise to America's potential until they get rid of racism. When all races of together in the United States move as one, not some the have-nots and put some in. No, America hasn't reached their potential yet because of the bickering and bullshit and how we treat each other and how people treat each other. Once we get past that, I don't know why they don't want to give us our reparations. It's going to go right back to the white people anyway. What does that say? They're just saying that you don't want to see us with no money.
Yeah. Damn, that's interesting, man. Yeah, you said that. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I have this vision in my head of us getting a lot of money and everyone else just getting paid off of it. The people who make, the Asian homie, and I'm not trying to put any of these groups down. Get your money, you know what I'm saying? But the fact is, we get money and we give it to everybody else, bro.
I look at it like even look at this, Dusty, as far as we created hip hop, we created the popping and locking and all that type of shit. But at the same time, we can't never catapult on nothing that we create. But the Asians, the Jabberwockies, and all of them, they'll go take our shit and perfect it and catapult with it because they look at it like, well, damn, they're not going to catapult with it, and it's so dope. Their dance movements and their music and everything, but the whole world knows that the white people got their foot on our neck. But at the same time, that's why they pick it up. And they like, well, shit, somebody has to pick this up and utilize it because it's too dope. Like, we create too much, but we not for each other. They got us on autopilot, like killing each other, like to where you're not afraid to kill your own because you feel like nobody gonna do nothing about it or you're gonna get less time than killing a white person. You feel what I'm saying? So they got us on
stuck. You said it right there, man. I know you've had your feelings about Charleston White in the past, and he just made headlines again. Let me pull this up here. He made headlines for recently posting a picture of him and Lil Tim, the person who took Chicago rapper King Von's life a few years ago. I'm gonna read that in a bit, but I would like to know. I know a couple of years ago you wanted to scrap with him, and things like that. Where do you stand with Charleston White today?
I'm gonna tell you something. I changed my mind about Charleston White, and I'm man enough to admit. Like, you understand? You know why I say this? A lot of people can't admit when they wrong. I see what Charleston White was doing. I see what he was doing. You understand? Sometimes you got to come out with the gorilla monkey shit. So, because that's what this internet and everybody is gravitating to. That's all they run to. You got to make sure everybody's and then when you got everybody's attention, that's when you change. He's brilliant. In actuality, he's brilliant because I've heard him speak. It's like he jumps into different zones of people within itself. Like, he'll talk the most ignorant and say the most ignorant, like, oh my God. Like, but what he's saying is a lot of the shit be true. That's why a lot of people want to get him. A lot of people want to get him. But what you gonna do? The fact the guns are gone. Okay. All right, you said what you said. You just said it out in person. You said it out in the open. A bunch of people saying the same shit he's saying. But they saying it in private. He's brilliant. That's what I will say. At first, I wanted to beat him up and all that because his strategy of getting everybody to pay attention, I wasn't feeling that. Oh, you don't disrespect the dead. But what's the quickest way to get everybody's attention? Is this disrespect the dead or disrespect? You feel what I'm saying? He had to use the tactics that he had to use in order for everybody to be talking about him. Did you hear what this? Did you do all that shit? He knew what he was doing. He knew just what he was doing. Brilliant. Now he's the person that got all the attention. Now he can say something that'll rattle. It's nothing but the truth. He'll speak. You got to realize he'll speak bad about black people. He'll speak bad about white people. He'll speak bad about Chinese people. He'll speak bad about gay people. He'll speak bad about Jews. He'll speak bad about everybody. So what does that say? Like, okay, he don't care, but his mechanisms and his strategy was absolutely brilliant. That's what I will say.
Yeah, fair enough, man. And I know we've talked about this. I've told my audience I had Charleston White on my show before he went viral, like in 2019 or something like that, man. And our conversation was way different than the conversations you're hearing today. You know what I'm saying? He was dropping knowledge, and that's why I brought him on my show. I was like, who is this dude? He's thinking differently. This is before the Nipsey Hussle thing.
But guess
before
what?
All of that.
Guess what? That knowledge that he was busting on your show, I'm sure he got some views, but he didn't get the views that he get now.
Exactly. 100%.
You know why? Because
you are correct.
He sat down and was like, you know what? This game that I'm spitting is getting unheard. It's not getting heard the way I need it to be heard. I need to do something that everybody's going to pay attention to me every time I hit the internet. And the only way, it's sad, but the only way that he did it, how he did this, was make everybody pay attention. Gay people, Chinese people, you're taking is going hard. Like he couldn't even go out, but that was his sacrifice. He couldn't even go out because if he go out, people going to approach him. But now they understand. You understand? Now they understand what it is. So I commend him. I do. I commend him. Smart. Was
there one particular incidents, like what? Because I remember you were really, like you said, you wanted to punch dude out. Like, what was there? One specific thing that he said?
I did. But I seen him. I seen what he was saying. The shit he was saying about black women, like the stuff that he was saying about gangbangers.
A lot of it makes sense, right?
Right, and this is something I'm about to blow you away with. If it's illegal to spit on the ground, if gangbanging is such a problem, why isn't gangbanging illegal? Every time they see you and you got some khakis on and y'all look like y'all banging, if y'all look like y'all in a circle, look like y'all about to congregate some shit, we busting y'all and taking y'all to jail. I guarantee gangbanging will be non-existent to the extent. That lets you know right there. If everything else is illegal, you get a legal turn, spitting on the ground, talking too loud, playing your radio too loud, illegal. But it's not illegal to gangbang.
Damn.
All right.
Yeah, man. You know, I love where this conversation is going. I didn't even expect it to go this way, but let's go this way, and we'll talk a little bit more, and then come back around to what I wanted to discuss as well. But you know, I posed this question on my show. I was doing a show with Lonzo Williams, my co-host, and I asked him a question. I said, "Did gangs ruin Compton?" And I want to take that a little bit bigger, and I want to ask you, Floss, do you think gangs? And I don't want to use the word ruin, but do you think gangs? Let me ask it this way: did anything positive come out of gangbanging?
Did anything positive come out of gangbanging? Absolutely not. At the end of the day, the only thing positive that came from gangbanging was Dr. Dre, Eazy, Ren, Yella, and all of them. Them niggas took all that negativity, all of that, and they came out of it like a rose of concrete. Like Pac said, like a rose that moved through concrete. They came out and turned a negative to a positive. But the rest of it, no. Do you? If somebody say, let's go to a party in Compton right now, would you want to go?
Nope.
Hell no. I'm not going. I'm not going to no parties in Compton. Is you crazy? And it's always been like that. All the fine girls that was the finest girls, they lived in Compton. We about to drop y'all off a couple of blocks beforehand. We are staying on the Londra. We like, hell no.
Dropping you off in Long Beach.
Hell no. Couple of blocks from the project. So, you know, but I'm just saying, like, Compton is a beautiful place. One of my friends, friends, I just seen day for yesterday, white dude. He was raised in Compton. All that shit used to be white. And then it got black, and then it started being popping. Central Ave and Broadway and all that shit was popping. But like Compton, like nah, like nah. Like Compton, cool. Don't get me wrong. No, shout out to the people out there in Compton, Comptown, and all that. But nah. Nothing came from gangbanging, but a bunch of death and mortuaries making a gang of money, and you couldn't wear a bunch of kids, couldn't wear your favorite baseball hat and starter jackets, and get beat up, and people shooting up the funeral and the body fall off the casket and all that. No, nothing came good from gangbanging.
Yeah, man. Right there with you. Are you familiar with the rapper Lefty Gunplay?
No, who is that?
Okay, so he's one of the bigger poppin' Mexican artists right now. Pretty decent rapper. You know, he's not on a Nas or a Jay-Z level or anything like that, but he definitely puts his words together. He has a swagger. You've probably seen him somewhere on YouTube floating around. He's from right here, not too far from me. He's from Baldwin Park, but he went viral this week for making a comment that he doesn't or he wouldn't allow his daughter to date a black guy.
Ooh, it's crazy, dog. Like, race is a big thing. Like honestly, me myself personally, I'm not gonna come home or I'm not gonna let my daughter come home with a black dude. I'm gonna be like, what the, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is out here for my people. And like, I'm sure if a black girl came home and with a straight SA dude, they're gonna be like, what the, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that.
So what do you think about that, man? It's been getting a lot of slack. I did a video on it yesterday.
Let me school real quick. First of all, he's absolutely wrong because black people, they don't care what color you bring home. As long as he is right or she is right and they treat you how they're supposed to treat you. Black people get over that. We don't be on that. They like, I don't know what they like. We up there with a white person. No, he ain't white. He just light skinned. You know what I'm saying? Like, black people is different than that. But let me tell you something. Talking about what he just said. It's so funny that you played that for me. I grew up. I went to Catholic school in LA. I went to Our Lady of Victory. I went to Holy Cross. I went to Sarah and Burn. I know about the essays. And I'm gonna tell you something. The essays don't like black men. They don't like black men. But I had a couple of conversations with some Mexicans about this. And there was a bunch of nigga talk, nigga this, nigga my niggas, all that. Right? And so I'm like, okay, I'm watching you, I'm looking at him. He got a fade with the line, the taper. He got the Kobe jersey on, the Jordans. I'm like, but you don't like black people. But that's different, homie. Like Kobe and Magic and Jordan ain't black. The thing is that they jealous, they envious of black people too. Not all Hispanics and Mexicans, but especially Mexicans. Now you can jump in our rap. You can jump in our genre of music. Y'all can play all the oldies, the Eazy, because who really love Eazy is the Mexican. Y'all can play the Eazy, y'all can play the Roger and Zap. Y'all know all about black people music. Y'all know all about it. But calling us mayates behind our back. You understand? And where that comes from is, you heard what he said, my daughter. He didn't really have no problem with no black people until they said his daughter. The fact of it is they jealous of black men because the Hispanic women are on the black men. And when they get with black men, we have the prettiest babies and children. You feel me? So that's all it is. The Mexican mafia, they don't like blacks. Really, Hispanics and really the Mexicans don't like blacks. Well, we don't care about no racism with Hispanics. We're in the same neighborhood. I like ceviche just the next person. You understand? But what I'm trying to say is, the only thing that I admire about the Mexicans is they brown and they proud and they go to bat for their people. That's the only thing that the racists got on us. And we can get off that bullshit and get together for real, and make it a movement and not a moment. Then But I'm tired of saying that. I'm tired of talking like, man, we the chosen people. We can do it if everybody's not together. After a while, it makes you not want to help your people and just go ahead and do it for yourself and help the people that need to be helped. You know what I'm saying? But on some real, we're the most sought, we're the most imitated, everything. But at the same time, I know for a fact that Mexicans don't like it. And they kill blacks. And when we war, we kill the gangbanging Mexicans. When they kill, they say kill the first black that you see. So that may be a mother with her child in a stroller. And they gonna go do that. And we don't respect that. That's real talk.
So when you and I have a different theory on this, a little bit different. My theory is, or my belief is that it's a very small percentage of Hispanics, Mexicans, and I think a lot of it comes from gangbanging. Going back to Lefty Gunplay not wanting his daughter to date a black dude. I personally have grown up around Mexicans. I mean, I have a Mexican wife. You know, I'm very in tune with their culture. I very rarely, have experienced situations where I'm feeling racism towards me or feeling like I don't belong, or something like that. I think Lefty Gunplay's theory is because he spent 7-8 years in prison. And we all know, I've never been to prison, but I know interviewing and talking with enough people that when you go to prison, there are certain rules. You don't hang out with this person. You don't share forks with that person. You don't, do this. And that translates into him getting out. And now he doesn't want his daughter, he
said, he didn't like. I'll be mad if my daughter came back with a black dude. He was like, I would be mad, but he never really said why he didn't like black people or the black men. Like he just said he wouldn't want his daughter would want if she brought one home, but he never really said why he didn't like black men or blacks or black dudes or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And I don't even know if he doesn't like them. I just think, I think he didn't want to. I think he left it up to the imagination that it's a politic thing. It's a gang politic thing.
You was right though. No, you right. You was right because it came from jail, and when you go to jail, it's automatically separate with the essays and the blacks. It's at war all the time. It's so backwards. When I was in the Twin Towers, when I first got in there, the first thing they said to me, my black side, "What's up, homie? Where you from? Blood or Crip?" If you say blood or Crip, they be like, okay, well, that's cool, homie. I'm from who, bro? I'm from Santana Block. I'm from H.A. You say Indian, they be like, okay, that's cool, my dude, but we ain't tripping off that up in here. It's blacks against Mexicans. That's what I was told when I got in there. I'm like, well, damn, we got together up in here because of the Mexicans. How come we can't? Well, as soon as we get on the streets, all the rules change, and then back to killing each other. It's crazy.
That's facts, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's sad, man. And I had a party recently, and it was me and a bunch of my friends, and there was some of them brought their kids, maybe 15, 20 kids playing in the backyard. And almost simultaneously, me and my friends looked at each other, and we noticed that every kid that was playing in his backyard was mixed. Either Mexican and black, white and Mexican. And it was amazing. It was almost the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I even told myself, I was like, in 25 years, this is what America is going to look like. Just a bunch of mixed babies. So I think that the younger kids, this younger generation coming up now, I think they're more accepting of other races and things like that. I just think what Lefty Gunplay said comes from being institutionalized, for lack of better reasons. I don't think most Mexicans hate blacks. I don't think most blacks hate Mexicans. I don't think that either. I don't think that. But I understand, coming from LA and seeing what I've seen, I think that you're absolutely 100% right that it comes from the Mexican mafia, a bunch of stabbings, everybody not liking each other, all that type of shit, and it spews out in the street because he was taught not to like black people because the war is on. But in actuality, when you got Mexicans on your side and they really dealing with you, you saying something, because they really don't. I've seen some blacks that they'll go against the grain, even though the Mexican mafia may say that they don't want. It's still black dudes that's from Mexican gangs. Yeah, that's facts. Well, I don't know. I hope this doesn't divide the nation. I think it's definitely something good to discuss between black and brown, black and black, Mexican and Mexican, Hispanic. Like, I think everyone should be discussing this right now, you know, this Lefty Gunplay situation, because it could get out of hand, man. And I just want America, in my opinion, and just growing up around Latinos, Hispanics all my life, I think most of them love us. I think most black people love Hispanics. I think most black parents will be okay if you brought a Hispanic home, just like you said, as long as that motherfucker is treating you right. And I truly believe that most Hispanics in 2024 will be okay with you bringing a black dude home, as long as that motherfucker treats you right. If you bring C-Mac home, I'm pretty sure they ain't gonna be cool with that. You know what I mean? If you bring Lefty Gunplay home with the tattoos on his face, I don't think any black parent's gonna be okay with that. But if you brought a college-educated black dude to a family, or vice versa, a college-educated Hispanic person to a black family, I don't think there's going to be any issues with those parents whatsoever.